Hello, thank you for staying there with us. You're still on to Kaftan Television this beautiful Monday morning. And how could I have been so remiss? Happy Easter! Happy Easter! Happy Easter! Oh my goodness! Happy Easter! It's Easter Monday. I hope you had a beautiful, beautiful, long, relaxing weekend. Whoa! And today you're at home on a public holiday, enjoying the Easter as well as reflecting on the reason for the season. My name's MIKKY ATTAH. Let's start with this. Happy Easter to you watching right this moment. Okay, you're still watching the press. So on the press, we're going to take a look into the front pages of today's newspapers and see what is in the news for us this morning. Kicking off right away with the Nation newspapers, we have here Tinubu, Chiani meet soon over Nigeria-Niger ties. Tuga signs agreement with Nigerian counterpart. Oh, let's see other stories here. Ponzi scheme influencers risk imprisonment. Sanctions await bloggers. Ship owners list expectations on 400 million naira cabotage cash. Did I say naira? Ship owners list expectations on $400 million cabotage cash. You'll find that story on the news page 15 of this morning's Nation's newspaper. DHL suspends high-value delivery over Trump tariff. Poor telecom services threaten virtual businesses. The banner headline in this morning's The Nation newspapers has it that Plateau Benue killing, state police back on front burner. Issue may return to NEC agenda this week. Senators developing legal framework. Tinubu appointments most accommodating, so says Omokri, a beneficiary of the appointments. That's on page 5. Pope Francis seeks an end to global conflicts. Pope Francis seeks end to global conflicts. Can Methodist prelate, the Methodist prelate Cooker, reflect on state of nation? Then there's a picture story of Pope Francis. Well, not looking very well, I must admit, but there he is giving some papal blessings to worshippers, I believe, to mark the Easter celebration. Right, from the Nation, let's quickly go over to our next paper, which is The Punch. On The Punch this morning, it is leading with interest boom economic stories. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion naira from loans. How banks profited from lending in 12 months amid economic pressure. That story is on page 21. We also have, wider picture story there showing Pope Francis delivering his homily, and we have worshippers in the inset pictures at the Vatican City all come out. We can also see him riding in what looks like a motorcade at the Vatican City. All that in celebration of Easter. Let's see here as well, emergency. PDP governors get Supreme Court hearing date this week. You'll see that on page 7. Presidency pushes back as Bakare Kuka criticized Tinubu's policies. Still page 2. Killings, Shetima visits Plateau today as Danjuma calls for self-defense. That's on page 7. Beside the masthead is another story again. Power crisis, federal government turns to banks for $23 billion lifeline. You'll see that on page 23. So what that means in a nutshell is that you can expect more federal government borrowing. Get ready. Let's see some other stories. We have here state police off agenda as NEC meets on Thursday. Well, another paper said it's on the agenda. We have it on the Punch saying it is. Yeah, one paper said it's on the front burner. That's the Nation. But here in the Punch, we are being told that it is off the agenda. Well, NEC is meeting on Thursday, so on Thursday we'll get to know the correct position. Judgment analysis. Report me to LPDC. Fallon or dares Wike. That is on page 29 of today's Punch. Indebted retirees risk losing homes, says federal government. The story is on page 7. So what are you going to do about it, federal government? That's the question on people's lips. From the Punch, let's go over and take a look at what the front covers of the Guardian newspaper has for us this morning. Let's see. The Guardian is trending with despair in Benue, Plateau, as killings hit over 284 in 3 months. And those are official figures. Could be higher. Despair in Benue and Plateau, as killings hit over 284 in 3 months. Baba Ahmed says no Nigerian can be president without the North. That's on news page 3. We have a foreign story here. U.S. gives quit notice to international students with cancelled visas. Leave the country if your visas have been cancelled. Still on news page 3. ACF blames Nigeria's woes on corruption, nepotism, and bad leadership. It's on news page 20 still. Okay, there's a lovely picture story there. You want to find out who and what they're talking about. We have other stories in the meantime. High costs, others cut 62% off internet access in Nigeria and others. It's on news page 5. Plateau, Benue killings may undermine Tinubu's 2027 bid. VATSA claims. Who is VATSA? What's the claim about? Find out on news page 30. Nation descending into tyranny. 10th National Assembly spineless, says Bakare, talking about Tunde Bakare there. He's saying that the National Assembly is spineless. It's on news page 7. Pick up a copy of this morning's Guardian and find out all those details. Easter, Khan urges Christians to promote dialogue and reconciliation. With that, let's leave the Guardian newspapers this morning and see what we have on the front covers of the morning's Blueprint. Blueprint is still talking about Easter, and it says here, betrayers, politicians behind current security travails. So says Khan, so says ACF. The writers here, we have Benue, Plateau, Borno, other killings targeted as at Tinubu's second term. Arua think tank. Declare killers terrorists, Mark tells federal government. You find all the details on page 6 this morning. Other stories, NAS developing legal framework for state policing, so says Senate leader. We have a picture story of Mass being celebrated, Easter Mass being celebrated here. It says we have the Archbishop of Kaduna province, Bishop the Most Reverend Timothy Yahaya, and some other officials of the Catholic Church celebrating the Easter Mass. Okay, let's look at some other stories above the banner headline. The first one, we have news. Tinubu's appointments fair to all, says Omokri. SEC warns influencers, bloggers against unregistered investment schemes. Nigeria's Onokoya breaks world chess record again. That's a sports story. Very good news coming from the world of sports. Global investors thumb up Nigeria's economic reforms and urge sustenance of inflows to handle external shocks. From the Blueprint, let's go and look at what the front cover of the Daily Trust has for us this Monday morning. It says here, the banner headline, Nigeria descending into tyranny, Bakare. ACF, Kuka, others decry worsening insecurity. Tinubu determined to do more on security. Those stories coming from the presidency this morning. Bauchi government, foreign affairs ministers, rivalry escalates. So the rivalry between the Bauchi state governor and the Minister of Foreign Affairs is on the rise. Not very good news. Electricity customers owe discos 497 billion naira in 2024. Flood kills 3, destroys 10,000 hectares of rice farms in Niger. Not good news. We don't have enough rice. Baba Ahmed, from presidential advisor to critic, says Northerners won't vote blindly in 227. He's flirting with opposition. So says Onanuga. Find out all those details in this morning's Daily Trust. And from there, we're going to take a look at this morning's Vanguard newspapers. Vanguard. Insecurity, still on the front burner. We have here Danjuma, Atiku, Kuka, Bakare, others rage. It's on page 5. Several riders. Let's look at all of them. Defend yourselves against bandits, Danjuma tells Nigerians. Nigeria bleeding. Please bring us down from this cross, Kuka begs Tinubu. Tinubu gallivanting across Europe as Nigeria bleeds, Atiku. We must rejig our security philosophy, Bakari. Tinubu should stop playing God, Bakari. Pictures of all of them are there. You see T.Y. Danjuma's picture. There is Atiku Abubakar. We have Matthew Hassan Kuka. And we have Pastor Tunde Bakare, all on the front cover of this morning's Vanguard newspaper. All of them decrying Nigeria's insecurity situation. Let's look above the masthead and see what other stories the Vanguard has for us this morning. 2027 presidency, no candidate can win without the North. Baba Ahmed, that's on page 9. 1999 ECOWAS protocol on cross-border grazing, origin of insecurity in Benue. Who is saying that? The Benue State Governor Aliyah. Find out all the details in this morning's Vanguard newspaper. Let's continue. We have Dati to Malami, CPC bloc will continue to support Tinubu's government. It's on page 9. SEC to celebrities and bloggers stop promoting Ponzi schemes. It's on page 9 as well. Retirees abandon pension plan over failed scheme. Very sad news. That's on page 19. Many of them, they say, are homeless. Let's look at the riders. Annuity uptake crashes by 76%. Experts call for NDIC structure in the insurance sector. Affected annuitants lament their situation. Another newspaper this morning told us many of them are threatened by homelessness. And that's no way for a nation to treat its retirees who have put in the 30 to 35 years of active service in nation building. It's a very sad one indeed. Let's look at some other news stories in this morning's Vanguard newspaper. We have Naira for crude. Federal government plans fresh crude cargoes for Dangote refinery. We see that on page 8. Death toll in Lagos building collapse rises to 5 and 15 people have been rescued. Sad one there, page 6. In sports, we have Flying Eagles begins CAF Under-20 AFCON title chase. They're beginning very late, but better late, like they say, than never. Let's look at some other of the dailies we have this morning. Before me is the Leadership newspaper. The Leadership, let's see what Leadership is leading with. Leadership is leading with Northern leaders divided over 2027 politics. It's on page 4 with the riders. North will define direction in 6 months. We are non-partisan, ACF. Killings plot to frustrate Tinubu's re-election. In Easter homily, Bishop Kuka urges Tinubu to end hardship and insecurity. SEC warns influencers, bloggers against promoting Ponzi schemes. We have Dara, Emir Turbans, Hamza Suleiman, Sadaukin, Kazar Hausa. We differ with Bakare, but we respect his views. That's coming from the presidency. You can find that out on page 17. Police operatives rescue 12 kidnapped victims. Hooray! Good news. That's on page 7. Gunmen abduct 7 travelers in Kwara. Oh, bad news. You rescue 12, they carry 7. How will we get out of this in Nigeria? This is not good. We have here some foreign stories. Ukraine war, Russia denies breaking Easter ceasefire deal. That is on page 7 as well of today's Leadership newspaper. Let's quickly go over and look at the Matrix newspaper. The front cover of the Matrix is leading with 2027 more political stories, it says here. 2027 fresh trouble for Tinubu as North prepares to reveal position. North will decide where it stands within 6 months, the next 6 months. Ex-aide. Tinubu utterly incapable of tackling deepening security crisis. Atiku. Nigeria bleeding from savagery, brutality never witnessed in our history. Kuka. We have Fanti Carnival returns, and there are people all taking part in the carnival. We have the Lagos State Governor also participating. So that is a really nice one for the Easter celebration. GWR confirms Tunde Onokoya's 64-hour chess marathon feat. So he has been awarded. Well, at least it's confirmed by the Guinness Book of Records. Troops recover over 67,000 liters of stolen products from oil thieves. Good one. PDP chieftain predicts Obi's winning zones if he returns to the party. Okay, the winning is conditional. You must come back to the PDP first. I feel you. Peace. Now let's take the the top story. Cardoso woos investors, says Central Bank of Nigeria's reforms laying foundation for macroeconomic stability. He expresses optimism and confidence gradually restored in Nigeria's economy. Right, our final story this morning, we have it here. Peace, unity, love, hope top prominent Nigerians' messages to citizens at Easter. Let's see some of them. Forces of evil will never prevail over our country. That's coming from the president himself, Tinubu. Reject divisive politics that undermine national unity and progress. That is coming from the Senate leader. All those stories are on page 3 of the Matrix newspaper this beautiful morning. All right, with that, we've come to the end of our preview of the morning's front pages of the newspapers. So we'll take a very short time out again. When we come back, the telephone lines will be open. I'll be expecting your calls, and you let us know what you feel about what we have told you. So stay with us. Keep your thoughts coming. Watch out for the numbers, and then keep your calls coming in. We'll be right back.
The management and staff of KAFTAN TV hereby felicitate the wife of our proprietor, Queen Lillian Adebayo, on your Golden Jubilee birthday. We say happy birthday to an extraordinary woman, a shining star of kindness and generosity. May your special day be filled with joy, love, and celebrations. Your philanthropic heart has touched countless lives, inspiring others to follow your example. Here's to another year of spreading love, hope, and positive change. Wishing you a birthday as beautiful as you are. May your light continue to shine for generations yet unborn. Congratulations. The management and staff of KAFTAN TV hereby felicitate the wife of our proprietor, Queen Lillian Adebayo, on your Golden Jubilee birthday. We say happy birthday to an extraordinary woman, a shining star of kindness and generosity. May your special day be filled with joy, love, and celebrations. Your philanthropic heart has touched countless lives, inspiring others to follow your example. Here's to another year of spreading love, hope, and positive change. Wishing you a birthday as beautiful as you are. May your light continue to shine for generations yet unborn. Congratulations.
Hi, you're welcome back. You're still on to Kaftan Television. It's still the press. I'm still MIKKY ATTAH. Wishing you again extra Monday morning. And we go now into our discussion segment. But just before that, remember on the front cover of this morning's Leadership newspaper, we had a story just above the banner one that said, oh, Matrix newspaper, I beg your pardon, that said peace, unity, love, hope, top prominent Nigerians' messages to citizens at Easter. Peace, unity, love, hope, top prominent Nigerians' messages to citizens at Easter. And right here before me, I have a message that has come in from the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives of the National Assembly. So let me give you the brief. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, has enjoined Christians to imbibe the sacrificial life of Jesus Christ. He urges Nigerians to another, irrespective of tribe, religion, and socio-economic status. While congratulating Christians on the successful completion of the Lent season, believes we'll just